Good morning, everyone. We're on day 3 of the Purpose with Poses challenge. And this is such a unique challenge. And, each day Regina shares her beauty with us in terms of the yoga poses that we do. But the other piece that we're also doing is sharing sort of like the deeper meaning behind each of those poses. And I get the opportunity to kind of come on and just share briefly a little bit about that. And, day 1, we talked about an open heart and an open mind. Yesterday, we talked about, the warrior pose and what that means to stand in the heart of a warrior, because it's really about finding peace, not seeking out war, and how we can step into that beauty. Today is interesting for me because we get to talk about grace and wisdom. And I'm going to give you sort of a unique perspective on it from something from my childhood, because I had an Aunt Grace, and I adored her, like literally adored her. And she passed away when I was pretty young. But I always go back to thinking about her when the word grace comes up. And so the name Grace has always been special to me, and the word grace has always meant something different to me, because when you think about grace, you normally think of a swan, or you think of butterflies, or you think of the ocean, or you think of a ballerina. And I can promise you that my Aunt Grace was not a ballerina. That was actually kind of a scary thought. Anyway, but it wasn't about her gracefulness in her movements as much as it was her gracefulness in how she showed up in life. And it was the grace of how she listened to you. It was the grace of how, when she had a challenging situation, how she would choose to respond to it. It was the grace in terms of not standing in judgment and finding the beauty in people rather than the fault. And I always thought, what a beautiful name she had, because it so embraced who she was as a person. So today, what I wanted to do was to really ask you to take a step back, and especially as you're doing these poses and thinking about where it is that you can grant that grace to yourself, grant that grace to others. I used to always say to my boys, you can never grow through guilt, only through awareness. It's so powerful. You can't grow through guilt, only through awareness. Now, guilt can obviously push you to make changes, but when you're in the middle of guilt, it's such a low vibration to be in. When you can stand in the awareness of it and grant yourself the grace to move through it. Otherwise, you could do what I did originally, which was I didn't want to feel guilty about something. So then I'd feel guilty for feeling guilty. And it's like a vicious cycle. So until you allow yourself to just stand in the awareness of it and grant yourself that grace to move through it. So today, where can you grant yourself that grace? Where can you grant others that grace? There was also another quote about to err is human, to forgive is divine. We've all heard that before, probably many of us. But I always used to take it a step further. To err is human, to forgive is divine, especially ourselves. So today, find those ways that you can grant that grace, not just to yourself, but to others, but in allowing it for yourself, you allow it for others. So with that, we're gonna let Regina show you the beautiful pose. She's gonna, each day we build. So today you'll get 3 poses total, but this will be the 3rd one in that space. And so Regina, are you ready?
I am. Yep.
Good. Go for it.
All right. Good morning, everyone. We're on day 3, as Cheryl mentioned, and what a beautiful journey that we're on of self-discovery, as well as awakening our physical body and our emotional body. And as Cheryl so eloquently said, our spiritual connection and our awareness to what is true in our lives. And there's a lot of things we can't control, as we know. However, there's one thing that we can, and that's our breath. We can control the extent and the intensity of our breath. And when we get really skillful at managing our breath, that actually is a ripple effect. And it changes the way our body feels. It changes the way our mind connects and assimilates information. And one of the reasons I love this challenge is because it's simple. And it's one purposeful pose per day. So it's very simple. And from there, we get to build foundations. And isn't that life? Building foundations of understanding, of awarenesses, so that we can move confidently and swiftly through life with grace and ease. So today, I want to do a quick summary of what we learned so far. And I brought a couple tools with me today to help support us. So the first pose that we learned was 2 days ago, and that was standing arch, also known as back bend. And with that pose, what we do is we just press our feet firmly into the earth, pressing down into the heels, and pressing the belly towards the spine, lengthening the spine, allowing the heart and chest to open, shoulders back. And then taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, exhale out your mouth, raise your arms, and then take a nice little back bend. So this is where we started 2 days ago on Monday. And then yesterday, we did Warrior 2. So Warrior 2, we bring our legs one out to the side in front, or to the side to the right, and then the other behind to the left side, the short end of the mat parallel to one foot, and then the other foot parallel to the long end of the mat. And then again, pressing that belly towards the spine, engaging the Mula Bandha, which is the rib cage and the diaphragm area, really engaging those muscles. Pressing the belly towards the spine allows us to lift up from the core, engaging not just the abdomen, but also lifting up and getting a nice full breath. So you're really like an accordion, getting all that air up to the ribs and out through the canal. So this is a beautiful pose, Warrior. And then we have our right knee bent. Nice strong pose here, opening the chest and the heart. And most important part of this pose, anybody remember? Is the smile, right? Because graceful warriors smile with confidence. And then we go to the other side. Nice deep breath, exhale, arms up, and then come back to center. And what I love about our pose today, Revolve Triangle, is that it's really a great transition to move from the Warrior 2 into this pose. And Cheryl's going to go ahead and she's going to place the banner for us just to let us know the pose, the name of the pose. And there's a couple different variations of this pose. So what I want to do is grab a block, and I want to show you how to utilize the block to support you. So remember, we're at all different stages in our yoga practice. Some of us are beginners, some of us might be more intermediate, and then there might be some that are advanced. I personally think of myself as still a beginner. And the reason is because there's so much to learn. So I'm kidding, obviously. I'm trained almost at my 500 hours, and then I'll be going to yoga therapy training. But what I mean by that is coming from what we call the beginner's mind. Coming every class, every time you step onto your yoga mat, you enter with a new sense of awareness and a openness, a sense of, this is my first time doing this. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to bend our right knee, and then this is for the modified pose, okay? If you're using a block, which you can buy these anywhere, you can buy these online, you can buy these, of course, if you want organic and more sustainable products, you can outsource those, but you can buy them at Marshall's or Target. And then what you're going to do is you're going to press your right hand down into the block. Now, a couple of variations even on the height of the block. You can have it down low like this. You can have it level 2, or you can have it level 3. It's really up to you. So you're going to bring your opposite arm up towards the sky, and then lifting up, left arm up. Forehead is reaching, crown of the head is reaching towards the side wall. And then you notice here, your side body is nice and elongated. So you probably feel a really deep stretch here. Take a nice deep breath and exhale. Beautiful. And then what you can do is windmill the arms, bring your arms up overhead, and then hands to your heart. And then arms up. Perfect. And then we may or may not have a banner for today, but it's okay. We'll mention it in the comments what the name of the pose is. So no problem at all. So I want to, while we're here, I want to also share with you. Thank you so much, Cheryl. She got my cue. Awesome. So good to have a team. All right, arms up overhead. We're going to actually switch sides, and then I'm going to show you guys a bonus for today. All right. So go ahead and pivot. Right foot, short end of the mat. Left foot, long end of the mat. Okay, it's like a little run. I'm going to shimmy a little bit over. You don't have to do that, but I am. And then again, you're going to bring the block down. And then if you're in Warrior 2, this is our pose from yesterday, then you're going to bring left hand down to the block, right arm up. Right? So this is revolved. This is actually, this is triangle, or no, it's a modification. Because like I said, there's a couple different names. So this here is one form. Now the other form, okay, because this is, you're going to bring your hands down and up. So what I like to do is, that's basic. Then you're going to take your block. So this is really the next phase. There's like a series of triangles, right? So the next phase is you're going to bring your right foot in diagonal to the mat, and you're going to bring your right arm to the left foot. So my block is here on the outside of my left foot. I'm going to take my right hand to my block, which is near my left foot, raise my left arm up, and look back behind me. So this takes some real balance. And truthfully, you may or may not be here today. So please be gentle with yourself. What we're doing is a very deep twist. So be gentle. Move softly and smoothly. And if you're not capable of this today, just know that you will be. And if you need to, you can certainly straighten that left leg. You can also just come down here like this and drop the head, pressing the pressing tailbone back. So you really feel that stretch all the way through the legs, through the hips, through the backside. Nice deep breath in, exhale. Again, nice deep breath in through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Beautiful. Bend the knees and windmill the arms. Beautiful. Everybody with me? Awesome. Arms up overhead. Bring your hands down to your heart. And then we're going to take it to the other side. And I'm really challenging you guys today. This wasn't what I necessarily had in mind. I was going to keep it a little bit more simple, but I want to really give you a little extra because sometimes we can go further than we expected to. So go ahead and bend your right knee. And then you're going to bring that left foot in, just slightly take the block to the opposite side. So this time, I take my block to the outside of my right foot. And when you're ready, press belly towards the spine. Take your left hand to the block, which is on the right side, and take a twist. Bring your right arm up overhead. Breathe. And again, nice big deep breath. Beautiful. Bring it down. If you'd like, you can take a nice bow here. Bow to yourself. Bow to your family. Bow to your friends. And this is an energetic bow. This is an homage to your family, to your community, knowing that you're doing your best. And then when you're ready, you can windmill the arms. Beautiful. All right. And then I'm going to give you one more. So I'm actually giving you guys 6 poses today. I know I'm like over the top here. But what I want to do is just give you some options. So this one is really easy. And this is what we were really going to do. But I wanted to, like I said, I think you guys could do a little extra today. So the block is here, and you're just going to bring your arm up overhead. So if this is all you do today, you're right on track. All the other stuff is bonus. And what I'm doing, again, is I'm opening the stretch in my legs, in my thighs, in my backside, my low back. This is a really good twist. You can bring your arms to your back, bend your knees, lift up. This is a great posture, a great asana for digestion, great for the respiratory system. Really good, like I said, for digestion. So if you're having any bowel issues or if you're having some digestion stuff, it's a great pose for that. Any irregularities, that's a good pose for. Great for detoxifying. Anything that twists, think of a towel and you're wringing the towel out, right? Just like you're wringing out all the toxicity. So anytime you do a twist, it's a really good opportunity to get in there and move the organs. It's an organ massager, right? And it's not very easy for us to go in there and massage those organs. So it's an excellent pose for that. And it's also a really good pose for what I call the dark areas, kind of like what Cheryl was talking about. When we're going through things in life and we can't always see in the dark, right? Why Why is that so poignant? Because when it's dark, the only thing that helps us see in the dark is the light. And so I love twist poses because they really allow us to go into those dark areas of our bodies, maybe those areas that are neglected or that we don't really get into because it's just not a pose that we do, right? So by doing that, you're opening up the door, so to speak, or the airways, the pathways for those areas to get attention, to get nurtured, to get loved and awoken. And sometimes what happens is when you awaken those areas, you'll feel them. You'll feel the sensations and you'll say, oh, I felt that muscle. I never felt that, or I haven't felt that in a long time. And so just notice how your body changes over these next 10 days and your mind as well. So thank you, Aunt Grace. We send you lots of love and we think of you today and for the amazing, beautiful lesson we got to learn today about having grace even through the dark times. Thank you so much for joining us today on day 3 of our challenge, Poses with Purpose. We will see you tomorrow.